right. Is this thing on? Yeah. Steve, are we good? Are we on here? I think we're on. All right. What's up? Hey, how we doing, everybody?
Just missed what would have been a great cold open. Spencer and I talking about Tupperware and Pyrex and me spilling coffee on my shirt.
Just missed it. Just missed it. Hey, happy Halloween, everyone. I'm actually, honestly, I've never really been a big Halloween guy. That's like not really my holiday. There are many other holidays that I partake in.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Myself.
I never liked putting in the effort to plan a costume ahead of time. It's
like
not
work.
Really my thing.
It's like, oh, yeah. Think of like, wow, a costume.
I know. Yep. Anyway, we got a great show today. Obviously, Amazon and Apple. We'll talk about that. It's Crypto Friday. We'll have Louis on. We'll have Larry Thompson on the show. JC has like a voice thing again. His voice is gone. He said he feels fine, but he literally can't talk. So he needs to do something. Or
you gotta rest that voice. A lot of cough.
Yeah, he needs to be on a vocal rest. That's hard for him. He's a talker.
He needs to fast vocally.
I don't think he can. I don't think he's capable.
Nobody
I don't know
today.
All right, let's start the show. Enough of this blabbering. All right. Let's do this. Let's start with Amazon. Let's just start there. Okay. I remember all the way back in the day when Amazon was a laggard. Remember that? Remember how it went nowhere for like quite a while, a few years even?
Isn't this that same theme playing out over and over again? Whoever missed AI in the Mag 7 actually didn't.
Yeah. So this was just a face ripper of a report from Amazon, right? I mean, everything they said blew it out of the water. Do we have a chart? I think we should.
Target hikes across the board from the sell side this morning. A lot of them. Top pick at Morgan. I don't know if it was always a top pick or if they moved it to a top pick. Bumped price targets at Stifel, UBS, Piper, JP Morgan. Just across the board, they're all hiking. And I lost do you have the headline read?
What, that they beat across the board on everything?
Yeah, like, do you have the actual numbers? I don't have
them. I do have the numbers. If we care, I'll give them to you. The earnings per share, $1.95 versus $1.57 estimate. The sales of $180 billion versus $177 billion estimate. That's on the earnings. On the guidance, they gave sales guidance. We'll call the midpoint like $209 billion. And that's the midpoint of the range they gave, which was $1 billion above the estimate. They said AWS sales were up 20%. What else did they say? They said a whole lot of things, honestly. But
top line's growing around 13% from what I can see, and bottom around 30%. Is that right? And then cloud revenue 20%. I mean, these are just monster numbers for a company of this size, as usual.
AWS at 20%. Overall revenue up 12%. Advertising, which is still a small portion for them. I mean, small is relative. They make $18 billion a quarter in advertising revenue, so it's small for them. They do expect to increase their capex again next year. Surprise, surprise. Everything was strong, pretty much. It was all good.
I mean, they're looking to make 21 to 26 billion in profit, operating profit next quarter.
Guess the consumer ain't so weak, huh?
$100 billion business.
Amazon still makes most of their money from selling shit on the internet, right? As much as AWS, as awesome as AWS is, they still make most of their revenue from Amazon.com and third-party sellers, right?
I mean, it's great to have that 20%, revenue growth kicker though, from a completely different business. But you're right, it's not even close. The AWS is $33 billion. versus what 178 I'm seeing for retail.
It's 33 out of 180 is AWS.
Oh, okay, 180 is the total. Yeah, so
Yeah.
150 to 30. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. 5 times the size, Spencer.
Well, it's not quite that clean. They have other stuff too. Let's not forget they have Whole Foods, they have delivery, they have subscriptions, there's advertising, there's other, which whatever the hell that is. But they make about, we'll call it 110 out of the 180 is just selling shit on Amazon.com. We'll call it e-commerce. How about that? There's a name for that. We'll call it e-commerce. Yeah.
Shout out online retailers all around the world. Not just in the United States. This is a global mega trend. People are buying things. The consumer's dead, but people are buying things.
Yeah. And you guys were asking for weeks heading into this report, right? Is Amazon going to play catch up, right? It was such a laggard, right? If you go look at the rest of the Mag 7, go look at Google in the last few weeks, right? We've talked about this. Go look in Microsoft a little bit. Even Apple, right, which is not up nearly as much today, but it is up this morning. And their report was also amazing. And Amazon was the ugly duckling, and now we are at $252 as we speak this morning. So that would be a new all-time high.
I'm just looking if there's anything else notable across the earnings landscape. Look, software's red hot. Twilio, 11.5%. Love that. Fan of this one. It's a great chart. Reddit popping on earnings. This stock has just been unstoppable since IPO. Reddit up 11%. What's that? Western Digital. I'm seeing up 9%. These numbers could be a little stale, but net, right? So some more cloud there, 9%. Rocket even joining the fun here, 8%. MicroStrategy even catching a bid. Not that their earnings really matter. Zillow up 5.5% on earnings, getting some nice reports from housing, which is good because that builder first source earnings reaction yesterday was a little bit scary. Lunar up big. That's not earnings related. Coins up, riots up. Yeah, a lot of nice reactions here this morning.
Yeah, there are some losers, as Brad points out. Looking at you, Carvana. Looking at you, Newell Brands down 20% because nobody buys Tupperware.
Spencer, see what else is down? We were talking about it yesterday.
I'm looking at my down scanner. What jumps out to me that you were talking about yesterday?
Dude, that is a nasty. If that sticks to the Carlyle Group, CG. Down 4% here. Down more earlier.
Down 4.5%. Yeah.
Private equity, like, they need to stop falling.
I don't get it.
Why?
I don't get how private equity seems to be swallowing our society, and yet the 4 private equity stocks are not that good.
And you made
the point yesterday. Explain that to me.
It's been this way, right? Kind of all cycle that they haven't been the best financial stocks, that's for sure. And all you hear about is all this new business that they're taking from the banks and everybody else. Maybe it's the kind of business that they're getting because others don't want it. And
how can they have a bottomless pit of money to go and buy companies, and at the same time, their stocks don't?
Well, you gotta buy good assets. So we'll see. That whole space, I think the market's trying to sniff stuff out. Maybe something's there, maybe not. But it would be good to see the big boys in private equity stop falling.
It would be nice. Do we have an Apple chart, please? Apple just forecasted that they're going to have their best quarter ever. That's basically what they said. They said last quarter was great, but this could be our best quarter ever. That's the summary of the Apple report. It is up, not nearly as much as it's up only 2% compared to Amazon 13% this morning, but it was a banger for them too. So I think expectations were high. Look at the stock heading into it. People were saying we know the iPhone is selling, the 17, and they said yes, you're all right. That's exactly what's happening.
You got to own the Mag 7s. Every earnings season, every 3 months comes around, and it's a great reminder that you got to own the Mag 7. These reports were all incredible across the board. We covered 3 yesterday, 2 today. We got NVIDIA coming. Stocks are unstoppable, and they're the market leaders again. And JC was right when he was saying yesterday, it's not just Mag 7. It's a broader theme. Look at all of these tech stocks that are ripping just here this morning. The old legacy tech stocks are doing great. The new cloud and whatever tech stocks are doing great. Software seems like it's back on. Tech is the place to be right now. Tech is the place to be.
I think you guys were actually both right. I think you were talking around each other because what JC was saying is
as usual.
Yeah, right. If JC was saying it's not just tech, which is true, but you were saying tech is outperforming, which is also true. Or sorry, mega cap tech is outperforming, which is happening, right? So you are, and he's saying, well, it's all tech, and yeah, that's also true, right?
For me, these stocks are a good place to kind of be in all times, but they come with a degree of quality and safety because of that. They're far more resilient than other corners of the market. And the truth is, past couple weeks, we've been getting chopped up in speculative growth. Other leaders from earlier this year kind of stalled out. A lot of failed moves, right? A lot of failed breakouts, false starts, range-bound action. And then you got the mags, large cap tech and large cap growth, and they're just slow and steady, trending higher. It's just a good place to hang out right now, while these other areas kind of let the dust settle. That's how I feel.
We've talked about this phenomenon for years of this group being, in a way, kind of like staple-y, right? Yeah. Because they're not consumer staples. Well, actually, maybe they are, but they are portfolio staples, right? Yeah. Who actually sells all their Apple or their Amazon? No one does that, right?
There's a relentless bid for these stocks. People don't like to sell them. You just want to buy more and more and more of them. Every earnings season that comes around, you see how good they are. Again, you just want to buy more of them. Mm-hmm. And they get chased in the year end. We've seen that last 2 years too.
All right. Speaking of mega cap tech, we were talking in a meeting yesterday about stock splits. Shout out to you, Netflix, doing a 10-for-1 stock split. Their first stock split in 10 years, as a matter of fact. So good on you, mate.
Oh, yeah, the AI and the agents, the tech people love this. They talk about it on podcasts all the time and stuff. Agents. You know about the agents, the AI agents?
Yeah, we're all going to have one, if we don't already.
There was an interesting podcast, Joe and Tracy had somebody on talking about, like, eventually we're going to have rules around how we treat robots. So those discussions are starting. Robot welfare. Be good to your robots.
Wait, Rick, did you have that .com? Rick, did you have that .com chart? You want to pull it up that I mentioned the other day, or that I talked about? And then
we need earnings charts. Like we got to have the earnings charts. Wow, Spencer's.com darlings. They named this after you.
People are saying.
Did you ever think you would have your own index, Spencer?
No, I didn't. I don't even know what VIAV is.
Oh, he did good. He put the Sienna in. We were just talking about Corning Glassware. They actually are a tech stock. Go to their museum. It's fascinating. HPQ. Wow. Blast from the past. The Rhombus. Isn't that Kenny's baby? The Rhombus Xerox. Do they still make copy machines? I don't think so. Sony, Cisco, Intel, Nokia, Ericsson. Great job, Rick.
Yeah, I don't know what a couple of these are. I don't know what Oh, that's NetApp. I knew that. I don't know what VIAV is.
No, me either.
And I don't know what is that VeriSign? That's VeriSign? VRSN? Okay, that one at least I've heard of that. Yeah, it's funny. Man.
Network appliances, the NetApp. Wow, oh my god. Yeah,
okay, here's a nice little correlation. Thanks, Rick.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah. In other words, I've sort of taken like the overly simplistic JC view of things, which is that we are in a bull market and these things happen in a bull market. It is overly simplistic, but it's kind of right.
But also, if you go back to that chart, it's not that it's a bad chart. It's an excellent chart. But the truth is, a lot of things look like micro caps and small caps. Value looks like that, right? These big bases that are just now reclaiming new highs. It's a lot of charts that look like that. Transports look like that, right? So it's not like a growthy or a small cappy thing. We're seeing value indexes that look like that. We're seeing, I guess, legacy tech indexes that look like that, right? There's just a lot of things with these big old bases here.
Yeah.
Overseas too.
And
when you see a base like this, what do you do, Spencer?
You buy it.
That's right. That's right.
And the answer to the question of why is because we're in a bull market, and that's
emerging markets looks
that's
just
the
like that
only
too.
thing that you need to know.
I want to talk about China at some point today.
Okay.
I think it's time to go back to the China pretty hard.
They all bounced back nicely. They shook me out, but they bounced back.
Did you sell your Baba?
I had a trailing stop, and
Jesus.
I got. Don't Jesus me.
Oh my god. I'm done.
I managed my risk. I had a trailing stop. I got.
I'm done trying. No,
it's fine.
it's not fine.
Don't cry for me. I'm okay. I'm fine. But yeah,
I like JD still. I think it's setting, but we'll get to it. We got other stuff to talk about.
Okay. What else was on my list here? Oh, just looking at a couple big movers this morning. Remember Getty Images? That's a yeah. It's a what's that? A mid cap? That's a small cap. Anyway, up 80% this morning. They announced a deal with Perplexity.
Remember Getty gas stations?
They're going to license their photo library to Perplexity AI. So, big day for Getty. We got a big day for Bright House Financial, BHF, up 25% as well.
Yeah, why?
That was earnings. No, that is a. There's some M&A stuff from a couple weeks back.
This is the kind of chart that I would never want to buy. Holy cow!
BHF?
Dude, insurance stocks are so boring. Look at that chart. The last 4 years. What is that?
Not showing up.
Looks like an indicator. What a range. Insurance bores me.
Really? Weren't we just talking about insurance stocks a few weeks ago? Like UNH? Yeah.
Healthcare, interesting. Did you see Moderna yesterday? So Adam Feuerstein over at Stat News, this guy can move a biotech stock unlike any other. Put out a note. What they did, I don't know if they interviewed like 8 to 12 current and former Moderna employees. I didn't read it, heard about it, talked to some folks about it. And then they said that, there could be a buyout on the table. And I think that rumor seems pretty solid considering they just spoke to so many company insiders. So Moderna just absolutely ripped throughout the session yesterday. You could have traded this move. And holding most of those gains. It looks good here. Yeah, dude, this thing ramped from $24 to $29 yesterday. Basically engulfing its entire range since you could go all the way back to April, and you engulfed a good deal of that range. If you get follow through out of here, this is a beautiful little base in a company that frankly is priced to go to zero right now.
There are actually, I bet we can make a pretty good basket of COVID darlings that either have or could be very attractive M&A targets, right? Moderna is one.
Hey, look at the Novavax. You got a great base there too. Wasn't that one of them?
Yes. I'm not talking about just biotech. I'm just saying in general, right?
You like Clorox?
Stitch Fix jumps out to me, right, as like a classic M&A target. Right?
I got stopped out of that piece of shit as soon as I bought it for the second time.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there are probably a dozen or more stocks. We wouldn't have to look very hard to find them. That were COVID darlings that are now very attractive M&A targets.
Do you remember the move Clorox made during COVID?
I do.
It is more than a 50% drawdown and completing a massive top. What is wrong with staple stocks? Are they just too expensive? I don't understand, but these stocks just can't catch a bid. I mean, this is Clorox.
Risk on, man. What do you mean what's wrong with staples?
Yeah, risk on. Okay. So we were talking about this yesterday. That doesn't mean that they should be like cratering on absolute terms. When we say staples are not bull market stocks, we mean they shouldn't be outperforming. But what we don't mean when we say that is that they should be like crashing in their absolute price charts. Like they should holding up, trending higher, just not at the same rate or pace as the risk on stuff. That's healthier. I don't want to see any stocks fall off the face of the earth, especially some of the like quality, boring ass, pretty safe businesses. A lot of them.
Money has to come
We're
from
talking
somewhere.
about Clorox here.
Yeah,
money has to come.
Money has to come from somewhere, man. I don't know. But you're right. Most of the staples look bad.
How much money is sitting in staple stocks? Like, oh, let's sell our staples and use that as dry powder. I don't think that that's really something people do either. You know what people do with staples? They buy them and they hold them forever. That's what staples investors do. I don't know. I don't think you really think so. I think people sell their Apple and use that as an ATM when the speculative growth stuff pops off. I think they sell like the Mag 7s and the quality stuff. I don't know who's sitting there with a ton of staples stocks that they can like sell and use that capital to like make a meaningful bet on something else. I don't know.
It is also true that if you were to listen to the company's reports and listen to what they're saying, if you were specifically looking for warning signs, you would find it in the staples reports, in the commentaries from their CEOs, right? That's where I've seen the most like kind of bearish stuff. So
I love a good dividend. That's it. Yeah. Tommy Lackey makes a good point in the chat.
What is it?
They are bond proxies, Henry. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, they're good with this. They sell poison, right? We got one of these guys.
Like for example, like Chipotle, is Chipotle a staple or is that discretion?
Oh, that's discretionary, dude. Their burritos are way too expensive. Are you kidding me? That's discretionary. Make your own burrito bowl. Jesus Christ. Chipotle's. I'm so with Jeff about Chipotle. What do you say? They don't even know that they have a problem yet.
That sounds like they do, actually.
That was great.
All right. Hey, let's find out what Kenny is trading. Kenny did a thing yesterday. The second week in a row he's done this. And I think I saw the video on YouTube yesterday. He was doing his stream as earnings reports are coming out. He's kind of reacting to it. He pulls up Reddit. He goes, "Oh, Reddit, it's got the faux show, bro. VWAP break. Let's see if it goes to the orange line." And he sits there for like 5 seconds and just sits there in silence. And then boom, orange line.
Really? It's amazing.
The guy is
something out over there.
The guy is something else, man.
I wanted to join him last night on the schmooze, but we're getting ready to run out of here today. So I'm gonna go on with him in the coming weeks. I can't wait. I've always wanted to, be on the schmooze. It's been a long time.
Kenny, I want to talk to you about Reddit. So let's do that.
All right, bring him on.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they tug it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola. Yeah.
We will only be talking Star Trek trivia today. Come on, man. It's Halloween. Let's go. What are you guys doing tonight?
We should have known Kenny would obviously dress up for today's show.
You should have seen me last year.
Yeah, what were you?
I went
Halloween costume.
I went as Yul Brynner. Well, it's actually a couple of years ago. I went as Yul Brynner from the Ten Commandments. I actually glued some hair to my head. If you guys,
my God,
the original young Yul Brynner from the Ten Commandments. Moles or something. Hebrew likes think that I'll Buddhist my father. So yeah.
Kenny, I don't think you bought. I don't think you bought that costume for today. I think you had it already.
He had that. He's worn that before. Yes, he wears that just like on a random Thursday.
These are my pajamas. I sleep in them.
That's right.
Kenny, let's talk about Reddit. You did it again last night, man. You were watching it after the report. It was chopping around, and then you said, "I wonder if it'll go to the orange line." What kind of
black magic are you and the Solid Jello doing on these charts, though? Seriously.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Who's your quant?
We brought Solid Jello on board now, so. Solid Jello got to talk to Nos yesterday, and
Jello's on the board.
Will never be the same. But listen, the Reddit trade was one thing, but the Apple was 10 times better because Apple was the clearest. And again, as I was describing what was happening, and again, this is to the point where I've been saying how the market never goes down. this is the mantra, you know, saying when the knee-jerk reaction to Apple was down first, the knee-jerk reaction to earnings are usually the wrong move. So bang, that was the trap, and that was your first candle. So then you get the fake out, shake out, and the VWAP was right here. So probably the easiest trade of our lifetime was buying a dip in Apple in a market that never goes down, right? So here it is. You got the smash down, and that was like a 10-point candle, and then it was over. And where else you're going to go but up? So you're basically looking for a VWAP break, and then you're just buying the top of the high reaction candle. And she, you know, basically went up 11 more points after that. So it was really the same trade across the board. Amazon never gave you a chance to buy, but at least Reddit, you know, again, you had, and these levels are different from yesterday, but you had the prior day VWAP. So you were just looking for blue to orange. Let me see if I could pull it up the way it was yesterday. Here it is. Hold on a second. Yeah, I mean, same kind of premise. Every move, every stock, unless you got some worthless IPO that apparently I bought yesterday, NAVN. Anybody know what this is? It's just appeared in my account. Thanks, public. They gave me a stock at $25. I got the only IPO ever to open up below the IPO price.
Hey, it's free money.
I keep hearing about this public. You like it? You trade your options on there?
No, I don't. But I opened the account because somebody told me, hey, they're giving out IPOs. And I just put some money in there, and I got 2 IPOs. They gave me 36 shares once. The stock opened up 10 points higher. I was like, all right, cool. Some coffee money. I did another one.
They give you shares?
Yeah, but this time they gave it to me at 25. The stock opened at 22.50. I mean, am I in the worst IPO in the history of ever? It never even gave you a chance other than Gemmy, which at least gave you a chance to get out. This one.
So let me get this right. They're giving you shares for free.
And he's complaining about it.
They're not free. I bought them.
Oh.
Free? No, I'm in at 25. Thanks.
I thought it was
maybe 180 shares this time at $25. I look at my account. This thing's down 5 points. It never even opened at 25. It's just unbelievable. But
apparently they give rebate income on options trades. That's cool.
Yeah, but you can't trade the last 15 minutes of the day
is that?
Yeah,
fuck that.
So again, it takes away the lotto plays into the close, that kind of trade. They don't want you to be in these things like 15 minutes beforehand because they stay live, you know, especially the last couple of days. If you were in some options at 4 o'clock, you know,
I'll just go till 4:15, I believe.
4:15, yeah.
People don't know that.
Yeah, the Qs. That's why they're so jacked over these last couple of days because you got earnings coming out right at 4 o'clock and 4:05. So, you know, there was a back a couple of years ago when these started trading on the dailies or the weeklies. We had a Facebook earnings play where we had some QQQ options that were expired. You know, they were done, but then they were still alive for 15 minutes. Facebook came out. It was that day where top 22%, and the
that's
Qs
awesome.
5 points, and you actually turned a zero into a 500% gain.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah,
love options.
It's pretty wild.
Hey, Kenny, do you like trading the Mag 7 stocks, like the large or mega caps, names like Apple and Amazon, because they trade in a more chill and controlled way, or no, you don't care?
Well, it's all the same to me, but yeah, today that's all I'm going to be trading. But usually when there's all QQQ related stocks, I just go to the Qs. So that's probably what we're going to be sticking with. But you know, you mentioned the other one, Getty, right? And there's always one. Like we were Cash Money Brothers the other day, TY, right? This is like the shiny object of the day. And look, when you're trading VWAP, you got the advantage. You want to trade a pump and dump, which you know is inevitably going to get dumped. You got your little Kardashian bottom VWAP break, and look, 324 just got you 375. So it's fantastic. You can trade anything with this stuff. But
there's nothing like doing an AI deal for these hot stocks. I mean, you just can't beat an AI press release in this market. There's nothing better.
All you got to do is mention AI right now. I mean, if you went public, just call yourself AI Quantum Space Rockets Robots.com systems.
Yeah, we should open a website.
It's a great time to be a trader, right? Great time to be alive, I guess. It's fun.
All right. Are the Jets going to win this weekend?
That's what I was about to ask.
What? Is that funny?
That was their one win. Just like yesterday was your one down day for the rest of the year. That was their one win. So, yeah, I wouldn't count on the Jets winning any games. But
it was glorious.
I came to watch. I'm a big Blue Jays fan right now. Anybody but the Dodgers. So let's go Blue Jays.
Shout out Toronto.
Yeah. So what are you guys doing? You got any parties going on tonight? What's happening?
Wait, actually, no, but I've been meaning to ask, and I guess I can ask. I'll ask you guys off the chat. Last year, we totally bungled it with. It was our first Halloween in this house. We didn't know how
You
much
didn't give any
candy to have.
candy out.
We
You
didn't.
were
We
the
ran out of candy
dirtbag
like
neighbors.
an hour in. Wait, but also growing up, my house got like 5 people a year. We had like no traffic, so I don't quite know the right etiquette. Is it like, do I give that like each person 1 or 2, or do I let them like just like go in there with their hand and like, because I don't even know on this
How
side
long
of the coin.
you've been paying attention? I mean,
I
right,
only,
Kenny's
yeah,
got more
I'm
experience.
old school. I hand the well, nobody really shows up at my house either, so I keep all the Reese's peanut butter cups and Kit Kats to myself.
Nice.
But yeah, I place in the bag.
Because I think that was part of the problem last year is we just like,
Yeah,
we're
'cause
like, here you
that-
go, and people would just go in and take like 15 things, and then we
How
ran
about
out
towards the end
candy.
of the night? You kind of let them dive in? No.
No, I put out
Keep it for yourself.
leftover sushi last year. It didn't go over well, so.
Okay, so don't let them go into themselves. Give the candy so that way we can maintain control.
Also depends on your neighborhood. If the kids are nice, you put the bowl out there that says please take one.
No,
and
that's
next thing you
no,
know,
no. I'll get robbed, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm giving out king size candy bars. But when you move to a new house too, you just got to be prepared. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. So like you throw the lights on and you see who comes. Like in Key West, we had nobody ever. There's no children in Key West.
How much money are you guys spending on?
But here, I think we'll get a lot of people.
I get like 200 kids. Like I can't be giving out full-size candy bars to everyone.
You should move. It's a lot of kids.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids where I live.
Wow.
If you give them shitty candy, they might come back and egg your house too. That's a risk,
Yeah.
Those are fun.
That's what we used to do.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So now I know. Thank you.
Enjoy your
Kenny.
Halloween.
Kenny, trade along and prosper, my friend, and we will talk to you next week.
Big birthday week, everybody. If anybody wants to buy me some alcohol, weed, or silver coins, so
send Kenny some steaks and weed.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Hitthebid.com. Hitthebid.com. Trade with Kenny every single day. He used to stop at like 11 o'clock. I don't think he stops it. I don't think he stops anymore. I think he just keeps going.
He's a sicko. He's a real life sicko.
Yeah. All right. We got Louis Sykes in the house. It is Crypto Friday after all. We haven't talked about cryptos.
We got to talk about it. They're dipping and ripping a little bit.
Louis.
Morning, guys. Happy Halloween.
Oh, let me get mine. Yeah, Louis.
Oh, nice one, Louis. Damn, I wish JC were here to see this.
I mean, I figured seeing as JC isn't around, I needed to bring some sort of JC energy this morning.
Did he buy you that?
No, it was actually the first time I came to the States. He was like, you know what, Louis, the first day you're getting into to America, your very first day, we're taking you to a football game. I don't know who was playing. All I knew was that JC was from Miami. So I was like, you know what? I need to get some Miami gear just in case.
Night,
there we go.
Last night was JC's team versus Perlman's team, really.
Love it.
Yeah, JC's team did not win.
No, they got stomped on, right? It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's okay. Go Dolphins. Miami. Ooh. All right, Louis, you have done a lovely job trying to navigate through what's just been a sloppy, choppy mess in the crypto markets. I know you were on again last night. We talked earlier this week. What are you seeing? They're not breaking them down. I'm looking at that VWAP on Bitcoin saying, oh my God, we're teetering on the ledge here. Dug in again since just yesterday afternoon. What's next?
It's spooky season out there. I mean, it's not surprising these charts look the way that they are on Halloween right now. Because look, these things are literally on the edge, like you said, but they haven't broken, at least in the majors. I want you to pull up that chart of Bitcoin, still in the 6 figures, and that's really the key level. We've got this absolute washout in the crypto markets right now, but Bitcoin's still holding these former 2024 highs. But as you say, Steve, it's right there. It's right there at those former highs. And so again, the risk is really well defined. And so I think when we see this major purging, it tends to occur near the end of moves. And so I've been writing that the worst of the selling is behind us. I still think that's true. But then again, if I'm wrong, which it's a possibility, none of us possess a crystal ball around here,
It is a
the,
possibility. Yeah.
the risk is really well defined, and so Bitcoin needs to hold these former highs.
It's really as simple as this right here. At this level, I don't think you even need another freaking chart for crypto right now. This has got to hold. I bought some. Look, we're long, you and I, and a lot of our friends. So I bought some protective anticipatory IBIT puts yesterday, just because if this goes right and it goes while I'm freaking sleeping, and I wake up to Bitcoin down 5%, I'm gonna have a lot of other stuff that's getting hit pretty good. So
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
smart, and I think it's also just being open to the fact that even if we do get a little bit of a flush lower, just being open to the fact that these charts are really messy, and what tends to happen after we see this major crash in the crypto markets is it just messes everybody about. People try to trade the breakouts and they end up failing. They try to trade the breakdowns and they end up failing. And it's just messing and chopping people around because a whole significant portion of this market literally got taken out in droves. Liquidity is really dried up out there. And basically, the entire altcoin market has literally just been taken out. Everybody who was trading
Yes.
these things in the perpetual futures market, which is a pretty sizable portion of this market, literally got
Yeah.
kicked out of the casino. And so just to see some messy action, to see some false moves, wouldn't be out of the ordinary.
And it's been like prolonged for these altcoins. I mean, it's been a disaster. I know we had like the big flush, right, a couple weeks ago, but it's been bad for altcoins for a long time.
Yeah, man. It's almost been a bear market for a lot of this stuff. I mean, not only did some of them lose 80% in the crash, obviously they recovered that because it was just a big wick on the downside. But these things have just been trending lower in an environment where you're having a look at all these magnificent seven companies just releasing their earnings. You go have a look at Coinbase, you know, their revenue numbers are up 50% year over year, and they're just absolutely crushing it. And then you look to the actual crypto ecosystem itself, and it's like, what on earth is actually happening here?
Robert says, this is so good. Robert says, I have come to the realization I just don't need to trade or hold Bitcoin. I don't need it. That's great sentiment. And you're right. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do in the market. And this is even better. Our friend Bill Cyril knows so little about Halloween living out there on Miami Beach. He thinks they're called treat or trickers. That's amazing. That's great, Bill.
Oh, that's funny.
God.
Stellar report from Coinbase, though. Stellar report. I mean, an $80 billion company is
Yeah.
still growing at 50%.
They crushed that bottom
revenue
line
year
too.
over year.
They're dropping those sales to the bottom line too. This is a real business, Louis. These guys are printing money out here. It's pretty cool. Imagine when there's an altcoin bull run, another altcoin summer, what those earnings will do. I mean, it's an exciting company.
I was gonna say I was a little bit surprised at those numbers that Coinbase posted because this market has actually been pretty terrible to trade. And so I think it's just
the takeaway. That is the single biggest takeaway, that they did this in a bad environment.
Yeah. And you know, you have a look at their different income streams, and they're doing a really good job of their transaction revenues, their fee revenues. They're making up a smaller and smaller percentage of their total revenue, and so I think that's a really good sign for this particular company. You know, they're trying to introduce tokenized equities. They're introducing futures markets. They're introducing betting markets. They're the custodian to all these funds, and so they're just trying to widen the pool of just trying to increase all their different revenue streams. So I think that's just a great move for them.
It's like the big banks playbook, right? Coinbase is building themselves like the big banks. They don't want to do just lending or like the big brokers, just some sort of fee-based business. They want to be a financial conglomerate, a center where their people could show up and have almost one-stop shopping in the digital marketplace. And right now, who's gonna beat them? They're in the pole position, so that's awesome for them long term. And you got a big level there too on the chart, right? I don't know if you're looking at 380, 360, 400, but this thing, it's one freaking giant green candle away from saying this, it's leaving the station. You got to own a hell of a lot of this.
Did you catch Mr. Armstrong's reference to the betting markets at the end of the call, where he was like,
No,
but at the end of the call, he was like, guys, just before we wrap up, I noticed that there's a few betting markets on Polymarket just saying whether I'm going to say Solana or blockchain or Bitcoin. So here you go. So here's all the terms I'm going to say: Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, blockchain, and all these betting markets just spiked higher. And he was just absolutely just having fun.
Really? He did that?
Yeah,
He's the
I
best.
think it was the first nod in some of these earnings calls to these prediction markets. It was hilarious.
Wow. Good for him. He's a gangster. You
Yeah.
know that, right? It's
Yeah.
not safe to be in the same room. I mean, this guy's a killer. Look out for Brian Armstrong. Regulators,
The
look
day
out.
that the day that Coinbase released this report, FTX jumps on Twitter for the first time in months and says, "Well, FTX was actually never bankrupt. They just had to do that to protect the funds or whatever."
Who do you think runs
It's
their
just
Twitter now?
night and day.
Who do you think runs that Twitter
He
account?
literally said that FTX wasn't bankrupt. He went out on Twitter today and said that. Like, it's just a night and day between these two.
What do you think of Binance?
They're fishy. They're certainly fishy. I mean CZ literally, went to prison for the whole money laundering thing.
Heard about
They're
that.
doing, it's fishy. It really is. I mean,
They make their own
comparatively
token go
to
up, is what people tell me.
what's that?
They make their own token go up, is what people tell me. That's why it looks so different.
Yeah, there's a lot of fishy things happening in that. I mean, everybody hates Binance, man, because Binance was really the epicenter of this most recent crash, where all of these 90% wicks and a lot of these cryptocurrencies, they all occurred on Binance. Everybody got wiped out on Binance. But then they look at the price of the Binance token and they
Binance
think that
was fine.
CZ isn't behind it, and everybody hates it. I think they're a little bit fishy, but there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there that I probably think are a little bit unsubstantiated.
I funded an account with a small amount last cycle or the cycle before, and you know this. I still use it every now and then because there'll be something for whatever reason that I can't buy on one of the others. We'll have to talk off air about it. I don't want to give the one away that I was buying the other night based on your recommendation, but I couldn't get it on Coinbase, and I was disappointed about that. But that's what I use Binance for. A lot of times they'll have it because I think they have a much lower line for these kinds of things. So, all right, I mean,
some of these exchanges literally just like accept payment for a coin to launch on their exchange. They'll like accept bribes. It's fishy out there. Coinbase is not doing that though.
They don't call it a bribe per se, but I hear you. I hear you. All right, Louis. Last question. What is October and how come it never came?
Seasonality would suggest that October is the best month seasonally for Bitcoin. So it's one of the very real risks of using seasonality for a market that's 12 years old, and where half of those 12 years were a market where only drug dealers really use the market. So a little bit of a caveat. A little bit of a caveat just for using seasonality in Bitcoin. I've never really been a fan of it. But why are we not seeing October? Because people got greedy. They piled on a whole bunch of leverage and they just got absolutely taken out. And thank God for that. Thank God that people can buy leverage, because now, if JC was here, he would say that we can kick them while they're down.
Bullish seasonal trends are great. I like to know about them. It's great context, but you still need more buyers and sellers in that new period to make it work out like it did in the past. Seems like crypto had more sellers than buyers in the month of October. Maybe we'll have a better November and December. November was smoking hot last year. Yeah, I don't know. All right, any closing thoughts for us?
Enjoy your Halloween. I gotta say, just moving to the bottom of the world, I was a little bit disappointed with just how few trick-or-treaters I saw. I guess just like
Really?
It's so if you get trick-or-treaters, if you're celebrating the spirit, enjoy it. Because I'm missing out. I'm getting a little bit of FOMO here.
I like your whiteboard though.
Thanks. I'm doing some scribbling, doing some note taking.
You're working on something.
Yeah,
man.
Exciting stuff being developed here.
Keep bringing that great crypto research, Louis. Thank you for joining us, and have a lovely weekend.
Cheers, mate. You too.
Damn. I'm feeling bad that I didn't dress up for today. But
you're a grown ass man.
Yeah.
You don't really need to do all that. Why? You want to go to like some funky, like crazy Halloween costume party? You know what
No,
they do?
just Louis got the dolphin shirt. Kenny dressed up. We got Larry here, who's I don't know what the
Larry's
hell he's
dressed up.
wearing, but we're about to
Larry's
find
dressed
out.
up. Larry dressed up
No, I'm
like
feeling a little bad. That's all. What is that table, Rick? What is that? Is that
You hear about the parties they have in Key West for Halloween?
no? Are they crazy?
I don't know. A little weird.
Oh, it's a weird place.
Weird.
So, All right. We got Larry in the house. It's been a minute since we caught up with him. Let's talk to Larry, figure out what this is Larry's table. Very pretty table. Thanks.
Great table there.
Yeah, great table,
Larry.
Larry. Do I have a Larry bumper? Larry, do I have a bumper for you? I don't even think I do. What the hell? I can't if I did, I can't
we
find it.
we have the best bumpers in the business. Nobody has bumpers like our bumpers. The guys out in San Diego are just so good at bumper creation. If you need a bumper, call us. We make the best bumpers. Actually, we probably won't make them for
I
you.
found it. Okay, I found it. I don't know why. That was weird. What's up?
What's up?
Dare I even ask?
Farmer Fran from Waterboy, the guy who's riding the tractor with his overalls and armor hat on. I got a pick down there for recess, but it's a little PG-13, but a Farmer Fran.
This is kind of working for you, man. You're from what, North Carolina?
South Carolina.
South Carolina? Sorry. Yeah, this is like in your blood. I feel like you can pull this off.
It's funny. I honestly didn't have an outfit. I'm moving. We're like still in the process of moving into our house. This wall behind me is half painted, but I saw Kenny dressed up and I ran into a room and saw I had this hat. And I was like, what can I be? So I just took off my shirt. I was like, oh, look like Farmer Fran. So
this is working for you. All right, let's pull up the charts.
Yeah, we can start that table.
Yeah, it is only technology stocks, some people say.
Yeah, it is. It's only technology stocks that are extended. I would say that if we want to pull up that chart. So I was looking, I mean, you're hearing in the media bubble talk, and the reality is S&P 500 is 35% tech, right? So it drives the S&P. And people are saying the market is extended. Well, when you actually look underneath the surface, so what we have here is the RSI momentum indicator, right? We'll say 70 is extended. Then you have percent from the 200-day and percent from the 20-day, right? So if you look at the 11 sectors of the S&P 500, only 3 or 4 of them are above their 20-day, right? And then in terms of the 200-day, only one is 10% above its 200-day, and only one has an RSI above 60. So this is not bearish information. This is more information about the fact that in a bull market, if technology is leading, these other areas are probably eventually going to see some rotation, and those aren't extended yet. So setups are probably going to come from some of those areas of the market. That's how I'm looking at this data. This isn't bearish data. It's data that shows you underneath the surface, there's areas of the market that have room to run. In terms of technology too, we talk about another chart related to that, but it's really just semis that are extended in technology. I know
I was going to ask you, like, are there any like industry specific sector is like almost too broad? You know what I mean? Like It's almost too broad a brush. I'm sure within each of these sectors you can find examples of call it overboughtness and vice versa.
Yeah. So if we actually go 2 charts down, slide 21, I can kind of talk exactly to this point. It's the semis versus the software chart. So this to me kind of explains the picture of the market. Area of the market that's extended, semis. Semis are about 40% above their 200-day, right? There's no magic to that. It's just a way to measure extension. And you can look at software. Software is actually kind of underperforming relative to the S&P because of how strong semis are. So you've seen this intra-sector rotation. The other thing I'll add here is semiconductors on their own would be the third largest sector in the S&P 500. So if they were their own sector, they would be the third largest sector in the S&P 500. So that's how strong and significant they are. And I believe software is about 9%. So they would be like the fifth largest sector in the S&P 500. So that's where we've seen the extension. It's really only in semis, which is bullish for the underlying market because there's other areas within that you can potentially rotate in. Because if this is a bull market, we're going to see that rotation. We're going to see that broadening out take place again.
I did not realize that semis were that much larger than software.
Yeah, actually, I had a chart. I should have brought it. One of my hot takes earlier this year was, here, I'll throw it in real quick. One of my hot takes this year was that semi or software was going to overtake semis, and that didn't happen.
Well, there's time. There's still 2 months.
So slide 22, I just threw it in the deck. If we pull up slide 22, just the next slide, it's if it updates in time. But this is software versus semis on a So I didn't update it, but I thought software was going to kind of regain control here in April. Boy, was I wrong. And just since then, semis continue to dominate the tech.
Maybe you thought again. You probably thought it several times, and then no.
Yeah, this felt real.
It's going back 7 years.
This is going back 2019. Yeah. So it felt real, and it wasn't. So semis just continue to dominate the space, not only of tech, but of the entire market. I thought it was going to be software, and it just didn't succumb as I thought it would. But yeah.
Wow. Okay. What about other non-tech industry groups that seem to? Are there any that seem to contradict what's going on in their broader sector?
Their broader sector? That's a good question. Let me think for a second.
Maybe you don't know. Maybe I just threw you on the spot.
Yeah, you're good. You're good throwing me on the spot. The one I can think of from a healthcare perspective that I brought, so I didn't bring any slides really related to this, is slide 27. Within healthcare, in terms of the S&P 500, within healthcare, it's really pharmaceuticals. So pharmaceuticals look a lot different than healthcare overall. And you can see the reason I look at this a little bit differently is because we know the concentration within the S&P 500 is so tech heavy. So on the bottom panel, I'm trying to look at, when I get into some of these industry groups, I want to look at it compared to the average stock in the S&P 500, not just the S&P 500. And so you actually see you've seen a lot of relative outperformance from pharmaceuticals. You've seen this base breakout, and you've seen leadership kind of emerge here, which this is the leadership within that healthcare sector as a whole, outside of biotechs, which biotechs don't make up a large portion of XLV. They make up a larger portion of smaller industries. But I would say that's the piece from a S&P small cap perspective, is biotech is kind of really, really running there relative to the average stock within the small caps aren't necessarily look as good. But pharmaceuticals is one that stands out. And honestly, it's an area of the market. If you have a ton of tech exposure and you're looking for exposure elsewhere, pharmaceuticals is a place where I think this rally can continue.
This may be a dumb question, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Why does the IHE look identical to the IHE RSP ratio? They look the same.
It's fair. It's a good question.
They look the same to me.
Yeah, they do. They do. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, just probably because RSP kind of trades sideways a little bit. I couldn't tell you. Maybe the numerator is a lot larger. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But in general, though, seeing the outperformance is in general a solid piece. And maybe because they typically run together, and then you do see the outperformance over time. But that's a good question.
All right. What else did you bring here?
I also brought, let's go to slide 23, and then we'll talk through 24, because the theme is the same there. You talk about areas of the market. Louis did a good job bringing it up within Bitcoin, but the market's running, and I would say underneath the surface, the trades aren't as easy as they look at the index level. The easy trade's been the index. Within it, it's kind of been a little bit messy. You've seen a lot of failed breakouts and then failed breakdowns, which what does that create? It creates a range. You see that in industrials. This range has been going on for months now in industrials. You see a similar range in financials. If you go to that next chart, the next chart's just financials. So the question here for me is, we're in a bull market. We're entering a seasonal strong period of the year. When you look at earnings look great overall, right? Even the median earnings look great overall. It's not just mega cap tech. It's mega cap tech that's growing the most. But people, when they say that, they're omitting the rest of the market is doing okay, which is what you want to see for a bullish backdrop to be more early cycle than late cycle. So the question here is, do you buy stinky stuff? And what I mean by that is, do you buy the failed breakdowns? Do you buy financials here, even though it's underperforming on a relative basis? Because if this is a bull market, you have two options. You can buy this, and if it fails, we're probably not seeing financials fail in a bull market. So you get that information quickly. If not, we're going to see a lot of these not a top patterns, which it's not a secular top, right? It was a little cyclical top, like a little seasonal top, but it's not a long-term top. So that's how I'm kind of looking at financials and industrials as a whole, because beneath the surface, there's some things that don't look great. Home builders, Steve brought it up. Home builders don't look great. I think I also brought a chart, slide 26. You guys were talking about retail. I'd be curious, Spencer, your thoughts on this chart. So this is XRT, and it equally weights 90 retail stocks. Doesn't look great.
Right? I don't think this is a good
Amazon.
index, personally. So,
Why is that?
Wait, hold on. XRT is not equally weighted.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Really?
Double check.
Oh, you know what? That's right. It is, because there was a moment in time. Thank you, Steve. There was a moment in time when, like, technically GameStop was the largest weighting by like a hair, right? Okay, you're right. No, I just think it's a poorly constructed index. Like, I think first off, I still, after all this time, don't really understand the value. I mean, I get the value. I don't understand the bull case for equally weighting anything. But I just think that if you look at the holdings, it doesn't have good companies in it. So,
well, I think so from a market perspective, from a like the way you want to think about this is it's a breadth indicator, and it's giving you 90 names equally all at once. So even if there's 3 stocks in it that are doing well and 3 that are doing poorly, it's going to trade sideways. So for me, it's information about retail in general, because honestly, it broke out it like the rest of the market did, and then it kind of failed. And what's the average stock done? If you look at RSP doesn't look too different from this. RSP kind of failed to break out this week. So I think it's well constructed, not from an investment vehicle perspective, but from an informational perspective is kind of how I would look at it. From a giving you information about 90 equally weighted retail companies as a whole, because there's ones that do well in there. Like, let me look real quick. I mean, there's a couple stocks that are up 100% this year. Carvana's in it, is doing well this year. Dillard's is up 40%. eBay's doing well this year. Casey General Store, Dollar Tree, Macy's, O'Reilly. So it's not going to be a leadership index. And the point of this isn't to buy it, but it's to give you kind of that insight into maybe what the average retail stock.
And I think what this is saying is that if you're looking for warning signs, they're out there. They are out there, right? Especially when it comes to the consumer, right?
For sure.
Strazza doesn't like what's happening with the staples. That's still consumer, right? And this is discretionary, right? It's the same idea. So it's not great. Doesn't like portend a great omen, but I don't know if I can bring myself to care too much about what Price Smart and Signet and the Real, which are all among the largest holdings, granted equally weighting, but still, or Etsy, or Five Below. I don't know if I can bring myself to care about.
I was eavesdropping on your guys' conversation, and I love the point that you're making, Larry, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think of something like XRT as like the Russell 2000. You're right, Spencer, in that it's not a good index for my money, but Larry's also right that it's a good index for his analysis. Gives you a bunch of stocks, and maybe it's a group you're not interested in, consumer stocks. You can say, yeah, a lot of these suck, totally. But in a raging bull market, these guys would be working. And Larry, also, you look right now like a guy I would bump into at a dollar store, like a Dollar Tree. So I'm surprised you're not more bullish.
I actually, one of these charts on here is Meta, because we're talking about earnings that went well, but I am bullish. I'm just bullish in a different way, not buying extended. I think you buy some of these stinky things like the Meta chart. Yeah, I think this index was doing well when the market was humming, and the market to me is not humming right now from a broad, the market of stocks is not humming.
I think you're right. You buy the ones that haven't gone yet. Look, buying breakouts in this environment, the past 3-4 weeks, I'm talking about, has not been a very good strategy. Sure, we come on here and we talk about the breakouts in the Mag 7 and large cap tech. We haven't been mentioning the 90% other ones that failed everywhere else, right? Yeah. So buying breakouts just in general right now, I don't want it. I want to anticipate a coil, maybe buy something that. Do it. Go.
Bring it back up. Are we going to reset? Yeah, all right.
Not yet. That's Farmer Fran.
That's what you're doing tonight at your costume party, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going to introduce himself. Your wife's going to love you.
We moved in a month ago. The HOA ain't ready for this outfit.
I don't think I've seen this movie in 20 years.
Yeah.
It's an oldie but goodie.
Yeah.
That guy's voice. He just talks like that.
Yeah, really good. Wasn't Rob Schneider in that too?
Oh, they're all in it. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole
Adam Sandler
squad. You can do it.
Okay. Hold on. For the uninitiated, Rick, this movie is called The Water Boy. It is a mid-90s classic.
Adam Sandler. This is one of the Adam
Sandler's first, if not maybe was it his first big movie or one?
No, I wasn't the first one.
All right, maybe not the first. One of his first.
You want to know one of his first movies that he was in? You ever see Airheads with Brendan Fraser?
Actually, I've not. No.
And Steve Buscemi?
Yeah, I've never seen Airheads.
Oh man!
Yeah. Wait, Coneheads?
Airheads.
Okay, I've never seen it. No, sadly.
Watch it.
Okay, maybe this weekend.
Young Adam Sandler.
My recess was just a shout out to these bad boys. I'm an old man now, and I have to wear these when I work. But if you don't have a nice thing of blue light or computer glasses, I highly recommend these. These are a game changer on the eyes. So shout out to old man blue light glasses.
Like them? You like them?
They're great. They're amazing, dude. They look like stupid as hell, but I feel dumb wearing it. They're amazing on my eyes.
I think you look great. You look like a porn star director.
That's my costume today. How'd you know?
Yeah, that's what you look like. Like that guy from Boogie Nights. He wore those orange shades. Yeah. That's you.
Yeah. Okay.
It's great.
Nice one.
You can also just change the saturation on your computer screen if you wanted.
I did that, and this is better. Now everything is yellow.
All right, come on. Market's open.
Okay. All right, let's get out of here. Larry, you going live tonight at 5?
I am.
Okay.
5 o'clock.
Thompson's 2 cents. Grab a drink. Pull up a chair.
They don't call him Friday Larry for nothing.
No, they don't.
Yeet.
All right.
Have a good day, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Buy some Meta stock.
Smash the like. Go make some money.
Cheers.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.